how exercise plays such an important, as much of a role, exercise and nutrition, in a child's success in school as almost anything. And a lot of times we take that for granted. That's often the first thing to go when when it's short on money. You get rid of band, you get rid of the gym teacher, you get rid of, you know, recess. But these things are critical. I mean, imagine a kid who's dealing with attention deficit issues, who has to sit quietly in a class for hours with no break. You know, or a kid who's coming to school with a breakfast of chips and soda. You know, that just doesn't sustain a child through the morning. You know, those are things that we're trying to teach kids so that they understand what they need. But you're right, we all have a role to play in this.
Hold that thought, because we have some more stuff we want to talk to you about. First Lady Michelle Obama is staying with us, and we'll be right back.
First Lady Michelle Obama. You know, we're talking about a garden, but, you know, there are plenty of people who live in the urban dwellings. They don't have a garden. What should they do?
You know, we talk about that in the book because there's a story of the White House garden, but gardens across America. I mean, we've got schools that are doing gardens and planters, raised beds. You know, you can have a great herb garden on your fire escape, on your windowsill. So we provide some tips. So we talk about all types of gardens in the city.
Also community gardens. There's one in the
Absolutely. We're primarily vegetables, all kinds of lettuces, herbs, beans, snap peas, rhubarb. We've got some berry bushes that we're trying to get going. We've got a fig tree. We're having a little trouble with the berry bushes.
I wanted to ask that because, you know, I also like to garden.
Yeah.
How do you keep the predator, not the predators, but the deer and the rabbits? And now, Barbara tells me there are no deer in Washington, apparently.
You know, we have a big fence and men with guns. Now, we discourage them from not shooting, but we don't get too much wildlife. But we do have bird predators, so we had to cover those bushes. We had to try different coverings, so it's taken us a while to figure it out.
You might want to try some predator urine.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's very, listen, it
is
very
supposed
well
to work.
Because the deer comes over and goes,
smell it.
Oh, wait a minute. Could be a wolf. Could be something that could eat us. Let's walk away.
We have bees. We absolutely have a wonderful beehive. Yes.
We were going through the book at home, and my kids loved the fact that there were kids in the book actually gardening. And you have had, we mentioned in the last segment, you've had over hundreds of children in the past years at the White House in the garden. We have some in our audience. We are honored to have members of the Girl Scouts of Western New York here. They helped with the gardening and then the harvesting, which is fantastic. And we have both Gia and Claire in our audience. Can you tell us what that was like to garden at the White House with the First Lady?
It was really exciting, and we never thought that we would actually be gardening with the First Lady ever in our lives.
Well said, right? Oh, you did a great job.
I know, ladies, I know how fun that was. You did talk about the beehives.
Yes.
You brought some honey, which is so good because how in the world did you talk your husband? It is really good. How did you talk your husband into making a beehive next to his basketball court?
He was a little hesitant. He thought, you know, he thought he would be fighting off a swarm of bees. But the truth is, honey bees are very, you know, they stay in their hive, and they've been essential to the pollination of the garden. I mean, there was an apple tree in one of the neighboring gardens on the South Lawn that hadn't produced apples in decades. The minute we put the beehives, the next season there were apples. Now, we eventually lost that tree in a snowstorm, but it has done wonders.
Can I start a beehive on my fire escape?
You know, you might want to get help.
You might want to get help.
Sherry, you might want to get help.
Can I be the devil's advocate and bring up something that some critics have said, which is, Mrs. Obama, you know, you're getting into our life. Don't give us advice on what to eat, especially in schools. Don't tell us how much exercise. You know, it's not your affair to get into our personal lives. You have heard that.
Absolutely.
So,
and
what do you say?
And I agree. You know, we're not going to solve this problem with government telling people what to do. But what people do need, parents in particular, they need information. They need a community that's helping them make the decisions that are right for them. And that means they need good labels on products, you know. They need schools to offer nutritious, healthy meals so it doesn't undermine what they're trying to do at home. You know, we've got to figure out ways to help our kids get more active, because there are many communities where you can't send your kids kids outside to play anymore. So what are we doing for those moms and dads? So this Let's Move is about providing parents with the support they need so that we live in a country that nurtures that kind of health, so it's not an uphill battle. So we agree, you know, and the truth is, we all know as moms, we are our kids' first and best role models.
Yeah, we see you hula hoop.
That's right, you know, it's like every now and then, but in the end, our kids are watching us. You know, they're going to follow our lead. So, you know, I might be hula hooping out there or doing crazy stuff like jumping jacks, but in the end, it's about, you know, letting families know this is really supposed to be fun in the end, that, you know, we're talking about playing and playing with our kids.
Well, this is going to be my favorite part because you're staying with us, because now we're going to have some food. The First Lady is staying with us, and we're going to be right back eating.
With the First Lady, Michelle Obama, and all this talk about goodies in the White House garden has made us very hungry. So right now we are feasting on some of the first family's favorite picks from the garden, inspired by White House executive chef Chris Comerford. Welcome back. So we are already eating, of course, and we want to start with, first of all, general question. What are some overall favorites in the White House?
You know, this pasta dish, we do like pasta. I don't eat as much of it as the kids do, but this is a great pasta dish because it's whole wheat.
Yes.
But it's also creamy and delicious in a way that it's not fattening, and the mushrooms give it a texture.
It's
linguine. Most restaurants do not serve whole wheat pasta, and they should.
But if you're making it at home,
we're trying to, you know, we're working with more grocery stores to provide it, but you can do this with regular pasta. You absolutely can.
This is a linguine with mushroom and bacon sauce that will just make you go wild, first of all. So this is, you said you just had this, what, this week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Had this week? You can easily substitute a gluten-free pasta in here as well.
You absolutely can.
I'll be doing that this week.
Beautiful vegetables. What does the president, what vegetable does he like the most? What does he like the least?
We're
You've got everything
big
here.
broccoli people. The kids love broccoli too. He pretty much eats all kinds. This kind of that he'll eat that salad every single day.
This is a summer chop salad, right?
This morning you don't like beets.
We are a no beet family.
No beet. No beet family.
You don't like beets.
Beet salad with goat cheese. You don't like that,
you
huh?
know,
beet-free.
I can tolerate beets, but it's not like, you know, I always think you have a beet gene, and there are people who really like beets, and we just don't like beets.
Beet-free.
We made your spinach pie over the weekend.
One of my favorites.
Very easy to make. Ours was very good. I'll tell you if yours.
You made it.
We made it.
Oh, excellent.
And you buy the pie crust.
Papa, who's that? You cook?
The dog and I are very big. Like Bo. I should say that Bo is all through your book, and
he's delightful. I mean, he's very much the little helper. He goes down every morning with the gardener. He doesn't dig anything up. It's just amazing. He's very respectful of the garden, but I think he sort of feels like it's his job. You know, he walks through the paths.
He's like the Secret Service of the garden.
Mrs. Obama, this is better than ours.
These recipes are very easy to follow, and these are the executive chefs at the White House, and they rely on this garden as much as anyone. They're just as much a part as creating it, because they go down, they decide what we're going to eat based on what's growing, what's fresh, what's seasonal, and that's another way to save money.
How much does the garden cost?
The garden costs hundreds of dollars, just a couple $100s to plant and harvest, so it's not an expensive and maintain. But you know, we have a staff, we have the National Park Services, we have a lot of help, but we also have volunteers. People from the White House, they take the afternoon off, they'll go down and weed, so we have a lot of support.
They're showing behind us your beautiful cake. How often do you serve desserts to the kids?
Yes.
You know, the kids, we have a rule that desserts for weekends, and that's as much for me as it is for them. I'm really the problem.
Any limit on portion, or can you have as much dessert as you want all weekend?
You know, we just, our whole motto is moderation. And, you know, the weekends are kind of low-key. If they're at a birthday party, I don't want them to feel like they can't have cake if they go out with friends. I mean, I don't want them to think about food that much. And our motto is that if you eat healthy 80% of the time, you can eat what you want, you know, when the time comes.
All of these recipes are in the book.
They're all in the book.
Easy to make.
It's great because it's seasonal. I love how it's so organized, so you really are working with the things that are growing at the time, and it helps you guide what you could make, because when you're shopping during certain times of year, you may not want to buy something that's out of season. It's not going to be great.
And it costs more.
Exactly.
So it's also a way for families that are on a budget to save some money, because if you're buying vegetables in season, they're going to be more affordable.
We are so appreciative that you've come here with your food, with your suggestions.
Thank you all
and we
so
hope
much.
that you will continue to come back with us.
Absolutely.
Give our best to the president.
I will.
And we are honored to have you here.
Is it good? This spinach juice is really good. They got quiet.
So, now you know how to stay healthy. Our thanks to the First Lady, members of our